born and raised. And for those of you who don't know, West Louisville is a predominantly African-American set of neighborhoods, about 9 neighborhoods, mostly low-income residents. And I love where I come from, but more often than not, we're given a bad rep. And a lot of people look at us, they see the low income, they see the lack of grocery stores, and they assume that we need saving. And I'm here today to talk more about the resiliency of my community, how communities coming together can result in us finding solutions for our own problems rather than being saved, and how when we work cooperatively, we can do anything as a collective. So New Roots has a history of telling food stories, so I'm going to begin this talk by telling a little bit about mine. So like I said, I'm from West Louisville. I grew up in what was once called a food desert, and it was normal for me to watch my family have to make a trip to the grocery store once a week, traveling 15 to 20 minutes. I thought this was normal. I thought that this was what everyone else did, and because we did have limited resources at the time, most of the food that my parents bought me was high calorie, high sodium, high in sugar, mostly processed, and I grew up thinking that this was the normal way that everyone ate. So on a Friday night, my treat was a bowl of ramen noodles, throw some hot sauce in there, sometimes some cheese, some seasoned salt, and we called that a meal. And what my family fed me out of necessity began to be what we ate out of habit. And I won't say I'm ashamed, but I only started eating fresh fruits and vegetables 4 years ago after being introduced to this work. So I didn't study food justice, I didn't study public health, I didn't study environmental justice in undergrad. So how did I end up being involved in this food justice world? Well, I came by way of Craigslist. I graduated from college, didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to help my community. I was highly involved in social justice organizations on campus, was the president of NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists, was editor-in-chief of a minority independent publication on campus, was involved in every march that ever happened on campus as well. But I really didn't get the food issue. And so when I interviewed for this position as a VISTA, in AmeriCorps VISTA with Presbyterian Hunger Program, the only food-related term that I knew at the time was food desert, so I used that to death in my interview. And surprisingly, they picked me. And during the last 3 months of my work with them, I fell in love with New Roots and the Fresh Stop markets. And I got to meet leaders in my community that are often not highlighted. More often than not, society seems to zero in on large corporations or organizations or government initiatives that are coming into our communities without consulting us, not talking to us about what we think the problems or solutions are, and assuming that they have all of the answers. But in my time with New Roots, I was mentored by the mover and shakers, the people that have been doing this work for the past 6 years and plus, and some of them are in this room right now. So the Miss Barbaras, the Miss Bonnies, the Miss Marys, the Nathaniels, these are the people who should be celebrated and commended on the work that they do on a daily basis. No amount of organizational good intentions are going to save us. We have to save us. And as a member of the African American community, I am aware of our long history of working as a collective to face adversity, and this is no different. By recovering memory and utilizing cooperative economics that Karen didn't call out by name, but that's how the Fresh Stop markets work. It's utilizing cooperative economics, something that we have a history of doing. We didn't call it that, but that's what it was. Us coming together as a village to ensure that our neighbor, our niece, our nephew, all of our family had the necessary resources they needed to live a healthy, long, and beautiful life. And by recovering this memory, we are once again able to take a community that was once thought to be void of anything positive, void of beautiful, abundant food, and turn it into local food oasis, and a local food oasis. So by supporting these individuals and supporting these neighborhoods, looking to them for the answers and assuming that they are creative, resourceful, and whole, we can begin to address all of these issues that we talk about in a very theoretical way. Similar to what Bryant said, I found myself in spaces where people were talking about issues that I faced on a daily basis, that my family faced on a daily basis, and no one from that community ever really being represented. So if we can begin to move in the direction, we're looking to them for the answers and not coming in and assuming that they need saving, then I think that we will have a more just and sustainable food system. Thank you.